All right, this is something we've been cooking up for a long time. The more astute followers will remember the C20 derelict we did, which kind of hinted what we were thinking and where we were going. But now the cat's out of the bag because all the engineering is done and we're ready to do a new drop. This is not a resto mod, and I know that's going to be weird. This is a modern retro series that we're launching right now. It's something brand new. What we're doing is we're taking 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 four-wheel drives with the 5.3 Ecotec 3 fuel-injected V8, the 10-speed tranny. And we are taking that entire new truck. We literally go to the dealership and buy a new truck. Then we hemorrhaged about 2 years, actually a little more, in electronics engineering. And what we've been able to pull off is very purely a retro C10 body, but it behaves and acts like a brand new truck because it actually is a brand new truck. It's batshit. So let's go for a drive. We'll get into it in more detail. And the cool thing is, it's going to be a limited drop from Icon. We're going to offer 5 of these. For the first 4, you get to pick if you want it done in derelict style or our traditional old school restored style. And then the 5th one is going to be the first Icon Omakase. For those brave few souls, or one soul, that understand my opinion and perspective on color, material, and design, and you get no say. I'm going to make something extra special, just a little nuttier than the normal nutty, and you're going to be like at the sushi bar eating blind. So let's get to know this truck. So honestly, to call this a novel approach to doing what we do, I really feel is an understatement. I have a hard time defining what it is. So we've been calling it the Modern Retro Series, specifically the C, with a little hat tip to the C10 and C20, because that's all we're going to offer. You can do a long bed, you can do a short bed. If you wanted to do a lift kit, or you wanted to drop it, or leave it relatively stock height like the previous 2 prototypes were, we can accommodate any of those ideas. And then with the derelict, you know, it's kind of luck of the draw. You're going to be as lucky as we are when our network of hunters locate original patina trucks with exceptional integrity. So like what color it is, what package is it a shorty, is it a long bed? All of that is totally up in the air. But what we'll do is once you've commissioned the build and reserved one of the 5 positions, we will run by each selection, and we'd love to hear your thoughts of like anything but red, or I really dig the funky green or the funky yellow or a particular design package or the longhorn, whatever. We'll do our best to take care of you. So we've already secured all of the 2025 1500 four-wheel drive Silverados. They're all brand new trucks. This seems like such a simple concept, and I think that's good in the way that it's so much easier for people to digest, you know? It's a new truck that looks like an old truck, pretty cut and dry. What you realize as you spend more time in it is how wonderful all of the perversions of modernity, all the creature comforts that the modern platforms offer, they're damn convenient. Now, we were very careful to stick with a very specific trim level, specifically the WT or work truck. So it didn't have a big monstrous screen and a bunch of nannies and crap that kind of takes away from the vintage vibe. And I think this offers a really good balance of the modern functionality because, you know, you get hill hold and ABS and on-the-fly four-wheel drive and hill decline assist and all that good stuff. You get CarPlay, you get Android Auto, you get the reverse cam, you get the trailer package, but you don't get so many things that you need a monster screen that looks stupid. We also spent a ridiculous amount of time on what's called CAN bus, which basically refers to the electrical engineering, because on a truck this contemporary, on any modern vehicle, virtually everything is speaking to everything. And that's needed to give you the advanced functionality they possess. But to work around it without using band-aids is a very complicated proposition. But what we've done with the physical hardware, the physical parts of the truck, they are all dead nuts 25 Chevy. So for example, that center IP and the gauge cluster, we engineered our 6061 billet machined panels to interface directly with all of the stock switchgear and gauges down to the acrylic lens. So we engineered our parts to comply with those parts to the extent that there's zero modifications. So let's say you scratch the gauge face or the nav screen or a switch wears out. You just get a new one from the dealer and you plug it in because we kept it dead nuts stock. Perhaps more critically, but far more subtle, is where we placed all the mechanical components. So the inner fenders are actually carbon fiber, and then they are coated in the heat-cured polyurea. And yeah, I mean, carbon reduces some weight, but really it's more about keeping every little component in the engine bay where it would be found in the new truck's engine bay. And this continues all the way through the chassis. All the parts in the chassis all even have the little QR codes on them and part numbers. So any contemporary mechanic or even a kind and open-minded Chevrolet dealership will know exactly how to service it and where every single component is located. The entire OBD2 network, the entire CAN network, everything is in the factory configuration. It can even be flashed, or what they call EEPROM updates. So if the factory does a software modification that improves the vehicle and you so desire it, you can have it flashed to the new program and party on. Unfortunately, due to law, and engineering, we did delete the airbags and the modern safety. Now we did do 3-point belts. Of course, we still have the ABS and all that goodness. Our tilt column mounts to a collapsible shaft, also safety enhancement, like massively over the original truck. But the airbag, since the chassis is designed to have absorption zones, but of course the original bodies are not, so it was just too much liability, and it required that big, ugly, modern steering wheel, and we really wanted to keep the old school one. The seat we designed from scratch with our friends at Glide Engineering, so it has that retro feel. It's a 3-passenger seat, but it's sculpted in a manner that provides you more bucket seat type support. And it's quite comfortable. The cab's a little smaller than a new truck, and we worked really hard on ergonomics and pedal and column and hip, shoulder, feet positioning, and we really optimized it. So I'd say if you're 6'3" or shorter, you're good to go. If you're 6'4" or higher, you're probably used to making compromises even in modern production cars. So I think you'll still find it quite livable. The power windows, the power door locks, as well as the climate control system is basically 12-volt analog. It's independent of the modern Chevy system, so that we could run our beloved Gen 5 from Vintage Air for super high output, spall brushless fan, variable speed control, and all that goodness. And then same with the power windows. We didn't want to have to integrate the new ugly plastic switches there, so we did our usual trick we do on our builds, where you simply tap down for down and up for up with the analog window cranks. And if you double tap either direction, both windows are controlled from the driver's side. The power door locks, you can manually actuate the door locks with the original stalks on the doors. And then you can also use the remote on the keys to lock and unlock. But again, because it's a modern truck, the second you start the truck and you put it in drive, it locks the doors. It keeps the dome light on after you power the truck off until you trigger the alarm. It'll turn your headlights on as you approach and power the key fob. There's just so many little things that really make it just incredibly livable. On the inside door panels, those are our usual laser cut marine rated fiber board. And then with our 2-layer with rare earth magnets. So there's no visible attaching hardware. And for serviceability, it's quite simple to remove that panel and access the inner guts of the door. We did my lit chrome machined spears on both doors. They have 2 different settings, plus they are adjustable through the modern truck's light, gauge dim control. But we'll preset them where we think they're cool. So when you open the door, they're full bright and complemented by the LED dome light. But then when you're cruising at night and the headlights are on, it's at a very low setting just for sort of ambiance and basic visibility. Mechanical specs, you can just Google the 25 Chevy Silverado. So I won't get too weedsy here and bore your brains out, but I'll cover just a couple key points because it's interesting. I'm going to compare them to the original 68 C10 specs. So we're running a 5.3 Ecotec fuel injected V8, and it puts out 355 horsepower as opposed to the original 307 V8, which was proud at 155 horsepower. For torque, we have 383 foot-pounds of torque, and you had about 235 in the original truck. For the transmission, ours is a 10-speed transmission. It's quite nice, incredibly smooth, and the original truck, you were either going to be blessed with a 3-speed manual or a 4-speed manual or a 3-speed automatic. Weight-wise, we're only about 400 pounds heavier than the original truck, and it's quite well balanced. I recently had the opportunity to take this truck on an extended test drive by participating in the Ether Apparel rally up to Pioneer Town in the high desert. Super fun, all back roads. It's basically a Porsche rally. I was the only guy in a truck, and I think they were worried I was going to slow them down. But they had a hard time shaking me, man, with the active track and traction control and all that modernity. They had a hard time shaking me. That is until we hit an open desert highway and my governor clicked in at 99 miles an hour while they didn't have one, and they left me in the dust ever so. Fuel efficiency, the original truck on a good day with a tailwind going downhill, you were probably getting 8 miles to the gallon. These are EPA rated at 18 to 21. But on my recent journey, I actually averaged 20.5, which is pretty exceptional. Specifics on other chassis details would be like stability and traction control systems, ABS, automatic daytime running lights, cruise control. It's got the complete tow package, and then the small square data screen between the tach and the speedometer. You can scroll through that little bugger and you have a trip meter. You have brake wear status, trans temperature range, trip, computer, oil, air filter life, brake pad life, all sorts of nifty stuff that'll come in handy. And last but not least, of course, the original trucks had 4-wheel drum, rarely power assisted drum. And of course now we be rocking 4-wheel disc with ABS. It's just such an exciting experience. After like 3 miles literally of driving it, you kind of forget that you're in something vintage because it just feels so comfortable, so smooth, and so contemporary. It's just a whole new approach. I'm hoping you guys are going to dig it. Unfortunately, due to bandwidth at the shop, I'm not going to be doing too many of these, so this edition will just be 5 units. You have the choice of doing it in derelict, old school, and then I'm going to reserve one of them for the bravest of the brave, which will be the first sort of icon omakase, where you let little old me, if you have faith in my sense of color, material, and general design, you just let me go wild. Get some inputs at launch, I'll hear you out, but then I'm just going to geek out to my little heart's content, and it's that'll be fun. We encourage you to visit us in person if you reserve one, so that we can do a design meeting together and go through colors and materials and pick everything out. If you can't come see us, no worries, that's often the case. We can arrange for that meeting via Zoom. All right, so that's the drill. I hope you dig it. I hope you're as excited as we are. If you think you need something like this in your life, bring it on. Just 5 units. The derelicts are going to start at $450. The old schools are going to start at $500, and the one and only Omakase is going to be $550. This price includes the modern donor vehicle and excludes the vintage Chevy, which you're more than welcome to provide, or we can dig one up for you. So that's all I got. I appreciate your time and support for the brand. Please spread the word, ask any questions, share with your friends, and all that so important social crap. Be well. See you next week.